Hello my crochet friends, it's Yobi here today, and in this video I'm sharing with you everything related to half double crochet. This is the name of the stitch in US, but in UK, Australia and India this stitch is called half treble crochet or half triple crochet. For this stitch we need a foundation chain of any number. When we are checking written patterns, we are going to find this stitch abbreviated as HDC when the written pattern comes from US, and when the written pattern uses UK or Australia or India terminology, the abbreviation is HTR. If we are using crochet charts, the symbol of the half double crochet is this one. Now let's begin with the tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to work this pattern. This arrow means the beginning of the work, and if you want to identify it with your work, you have to see this as the tail of the loose end of the yarn. So here I'm going to begin, just as an example, with 10 chains as a foundation chain, okay? And I'm going to work 10 half double crochet. But if we observe here, at the beginning of this row, we are going to replace this half double crochet with 2 chains. Why with 2 chains? Because 2 chains are the turning chains for half double crochet. This means that every time when we want to start a new row, we have to replace the first half double crochet with 2 chains. In this case, the turning chains counts as 1 stitch. Remember that in the case of the single crochet, the turning chain did not count as a stitch. This is just a small difference if we compare with single crochet. So that means that we are going to work in our foundation chain 10 chains plus 2 chains that correspond to the turning chain. Okay, so let's begin with that. So here I have already worked the 10 chains of the foundation chain plus 2 chains more that correspond to the turning chain. Okay, we are going to begin working the half double crochet, 1 half double crochet on each chain. Now if we observe our pattern, we are going to start working on the 4th chain counting from the hook. So if your hook is here, then in the first 3 chains we don't work. We are going to work on the 4th chain, okay? As I told you, we are going to work on the 4th chain counting from the hook. So we know that the working loop is not counted. This is the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. So here in the front loop we are going to begin. Pay attention to the position of my fingers, okay? So here we have 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here is where we are going to work, okay? So for the half double crochet we yarn over, then we are going to introduce the hook through the front loop of the chain, then we yarn over, we come out through this loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook, and in this position we yarn over and we are going to pull the loop of the yarn over through the 3 loops of my hook. Okay, and now our first half double crochet is ready. If you are a total beginner, I will recommend you that you place a stitch marker here in the second chain. So you make 2 chains at the beginning. This is the loop. This is the loop that corresponds to the first half double crochet. This is the loop of the last chain. So here we are going to place 1 stitch marker so that we don't miss this stitch at the end. Okay, so now we continue working another half double crochet. Again, first we yarn over, then we introduce the hook through the next chain, and in this position we yarn over and come out through this gap. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. Then here we yarn over once more, and we are going to pull the loop of the yarn over through the 3 loops on our hook. Pay attention to the position of my thumb and my middle finger of the left hand, that you see how they are really helping a lot and helping me to control the tension. Okay, so now we have our third half double crochet. Remember that in the half double crochet, this turning chain counts as 1 half double crochet. So here that's the first, this is the second, the third, and we are going to continue working until the end of the foundation chain. So now I'm at the end of this row, and what we have to do now is to count that we have the same number of stitches than we had in our foundation chain. So again, if we observe, this V correspond to 1 stitch. These 2 parts of a string that forms a V is 1 stitch. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and that one 10. Once more I repeat that the turning chain counts as 1 half double crochet. Okay? So now let's continue with the second row. So we read our pattern for the foundation chain from the left to the right. We know that from our lesson of single crochet. Then the first row we are going to read from right to left. Now that we are going to work on the second row, this we read the pattern from left to right. Okay, so again we notice that here we are going to work 2 chains as turning chain, and then we are going to work the rest of stitches with half double crochet. Okay, let's do that then. So here we are going to begin making the 2 chains, 1 and 2, and now we are going to turn our work. Okay, and if we observe here, so now we need to know where to introduce our hook. So this one is our last half double crochet of the previous row. Okay, but these chains are already on top of this. So here we have, with these 2 chains, we have the first half double crochet. So the next real half double crochet has to be worked here. Okay, in this stitch. So again we yarn over, and then we are going to introduce our hook through this gap. Now we have again 3 loops on our hook, then we yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. So here we have 1 half double crochet, and here are the turning chains that replace the first half double crochet. Again here, if you are a total beginner, in order that you don't miss this stitch, I will recommend you to place a stitch marker here. Okay? I will continue working until the end of the row, and in the last stitch I come back to you. So here I'm about to make the 2 last stitches, okay? And I forgot to mention before that whenever you introduce your hook, try to verify that you are taking both sides of both strings of the V shape, okay? So, and here we are going to remove our stitch marker, and in this position we are going to introduce our hook to complete the last half double crochet. So here I just want to call your attention. My stitch marker was placed here, but I have to identify this little like a 6 number that is formed with the yarn. Okay, so the place where I'm going to introduce my hook is here. Okay, this is the place, so I'm taking both loops. Here, to make this stitch, I yarn over, and here I'm going to introduce my hook. Then yarn over and come out through this gap. I have 3 loops on my hook, then yarn over and pull through the 3 loops. And now I have finished the second row. If we count again, we should have the 10 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So Now we continue with the third round. This is the third round, and for read this pattern we are going to do from the right to the left. Okay, so in this case the first thing that we find here is these 2 chains that replace the first half double crochet, and then we continue making 1 half double crochet on each stitch of the previous row. As you can see here in this pattern where we are only working half double crochet, every new row replaces the first half double crochet with 2 chains that correspond to the turning chain. So let's begin with the third row. We start with the turning chain, so we are going to make 2 chains, and then we turn our work, and as we have done in the previous rows, I recommend you, if you are a beginner, to place here 1 stitch marker. Okay, so here this is the last half double crochet of the previous row. So the half double crochet on top of this is replaced by these 2 chains. So here in this first hole we don't do anything, we start to work on the next one. We don't do anything because, you know, these 2 chains is like if we will have 1 half double crochet. So now we yarn over, then introduce the hook through this hole. We ensure that we are taking the 2 parts of the V, you know, so that means that we are taking the whole stitch, and here we yarn over and come out through this gap. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, then we yarn over, and we are going to pull the loop of the yarn over through these 3 loops on our hook. Okay, so now we continue working as we have done before, and I meet you at the end of the row. So now I'm at the end of this row, and I'm going to remove my stitch marker, and now you can see how it looks. I will try to zoom, and again here you can see this kind of 6 number. Okay, or this little loop that is formed here. I don't know if you can distinguish this. Can you? Okay, do you see this? I will try to zoom in a little bit more. So here I have tried to zoom in, and I hope you can see this little loop that makes the shape of a number 6. Okay, so this is the place where we are going to insert our hook. Okay, so for this we first yarn over, and then we are going to introduce our hook so that we take both sides of this 6. Then here we yarn over and come out through this. Now we have 3 loops on our hook, then we yarn over, and we are going to pull the loop of the yarn over through these 3 loops. And now our third row of half double crochet is ready. I will recommend you to add additional rows so that you get used to the stitch to control the tension, and try to add the next row without using the stitch markers, just if you get used to that. Otherwise, you can continue using the stitch marker if it's more comfortable for you. If you are a total beginner, I would recommend you to use stitch markers because this will help you a lot and you are not going to miss any single stitch. And that's all what I have for you, my friends. If you have enjoyed this video and you have learned something new, please like the video. Leave me a comment down below. If you have any question or you want to tell me something, you know that I really love to read your comments. So I really thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the video and see you next time. Bye!